Okay, all right, this is our monthly Orinoco Economic Development meeting, and it's October the 28th at 6:30. So with that, we'll do the roll call. Kurt?
Mayor Ryland.
Here.
Jamie. Dan. Here. Adam.
Here.
Jan. Here. And Kathy.
Here.
Kurt. Here. And Jason is at a conference, so he will not be here.
So tonight we have Carl Rogers joining us for a potential candidate, and we'll have a brief interview with some questions, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So with that, I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Second.
Brief agenda, but there's some good subjects to her, so. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose. Group and packet was your September 23rd meeting minutes. Did you get a copy of those, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's on the second page of the packet.
Okay, and we can. Like President stuff. Here's words.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second. I'd like to,
Any questions? Comments?
Yeah, changed my name. You guys spelled it different. Where do you see that?
Oh, that's on the agenda.
Under adjourn, it says got my name spelled really differently.
Oh.
On adjourn of the last meeting minutes, you got THORNDSON.
Oh, Thornton.
I know, so I'd just like to correct that to have my name spelled correctly.
That's a good point.
So Jan, what is the correct spelling?
THRONDSON.
THROND SON. Thornton. Is that correct? Pronunciation? Ronson?
It's impressive. I spelled it wrong twice.
Ronson, okay.
Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Here's no public hearings, old business. First item is our branding project status.
Yeah, the branding project has getting towards the end. So they had a vote, Tulip Tree issued a online vote for the final brands, and below you can see I've added an extra as well, the additional memo on this side. The final four were the O's, Orinoco with a bridge, the Orinoco with a bridge, and then the Orinoco with a tree. The Orinoco, what was it? So let's see, 1D, which is the Orinoco with a thick O on it here, was the winner of the, I guess you could say, the online vote.
Proposal for community.
So with this, she's going to, I posted a picture of the tree here because she has made the tree less jagged and the branches less scary. Got a request to do that. So.
Wait a minute, I'm lost. I can't find my picture.
Okay, so if you look at the memorandum,
It's just big on a piece of paper down there that does that on there.
and look at your extra piece of paper.
Gotcha.
There you go, right there.
I've got this one right here, but I didn't have the.
Yeah, it's right.
It's in the packet.
So it's kind of in the packet and it's our extra piece of paper. Sorry.
Okay,
Here,
so you're,
this vote came out after my agenda was done. Sorry about that.
gotcha.
Got it. Yep, I got it right here.
Wait a minute. So this is the
Yeah, you
one?
got it. Right here, yep.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So this one is the winner to this point.
This
one, yeah.
Okay.
This is the picture of the tree and how they kind of made it less scary.
So 2E and 2F.
So I got the tree in there in the packet twice. In the packet, it's the old tree in the additional memo that I've put here, that is what they have made the tree to make it look less scary. So overall, the overall winner at this point is 1D, which is the thick O Orinoco.
Now, when you say winner, that's the committee that's voted this far?
That's what they.
It's not the community vote
Correct.
yet, okay.
Yep. So the reason why she's putting the tree out there as well, she'll put both of the finalists, and the community will then have the final say, from what I understand on this. So they'll have two to choose from. So he won't just put one out there and be like, this is what, they'll have, the community will have to choose from those two. The next step will be to strategize or plan out the community vote phase. And then from that point on, you will have a brand for the city of Orinoco, which will be on city documents, city vehicles. You name it.
So are they,
Color options.
Yeah, color will go in there.
Before the vote for
Yeah.
the two,
Yeah.
so they'll do color options and then do the vote of the tree versus the bridge.
Correct. Yep.
do they have any ideas on how they're gonna do the vote or what they're recommending on how to vote on this?
I haven't heard anything from Brittany.
No, and I think they've done it before, so. My assumption is that they'll, post with signs and virtual postings of the two possibilities and give people the opportunity to go to a certain website to vote for it.
Okay.
Or come to City Hall and vote for it if they don't want to do it online. That's my assumption.
And then with the project, there's, the tagline will go along with this. More introduction, probably tagline would be, there's been no activity with the tagline development at all yet. This is maybe the first piece was just the branding for the picture, so.
So my question is that she talked about black and white as we were doing the committee meeting, but then I always asked, was there gonna be any color to it? And they said that the color would be that, so. If you send it out to a vote, they look at a black and white. And there's no color to it. I mean, color or
I thought there was gonna be color in the community options,
I do too.
but
And she's saying no?
no, I just haven't confirmed that.
Okay.
I
But
don't,
when we always talked, I was always minded that there was gonna be some color. When we were voting and doing it with black and white, it was just easier to do that, but after that, it would have some color to it. And so in order to, before it goes out to a vote, I would think you'd want to be,
Colorized. However.
however you put it out there, otherwise you put this out and say, no,
Yeah, now we gotta go back and color the.
it's my thought process, we're almost there. 9/10 of the way home, they just gotta come up with the last, the shading or whatever they wanna.
just explained in her email, they've had some turnover and those are some reasons for getting, slower getting the information back to us, so. Okay, so we'll kind of see what the
So,
next
yeah.
steps are with that.
Like I said, Ryan, we'll update when we hear more after. And I can't tell you if the final vote will be before our next EDA meeting or not. I'm assuming by the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to go to council after the community input or we're gonna wait for the tagline, do it all together. I'm not sure what the process is. It's gonna be piecemeal going to council or with the whole package when it's all done, then goes to council. It sounds like it'd be more
Why don't
good use of our time, but
if you, had a design or whatever it was, and I had to take a picture of it, I could talk to Dustin, and I could put my 8x12 sign up with the two pictures on it. Up there, everyone drives in and say, vote. This or that in the future. To people on digital board,
yeah.
to show the people the color or whatever it is. I just would have offered that up, that if I could do that, I could,
Keep that in mind.
they drive up, you could actually see your logo.
That's your sign, huh?
That was fine.
We're gonna have to put that to use, aren't we?
We money.
add that to the council meeting, see how council wants.
He would like-
That's awesome.
You would like what I.
Piecemeal.
Well, you-
Well, I'd rather get input from Whitney
Conservative,
for
I'm
what
conservative.
he was planning on, what she proposed us in the contract.
Yeah, I got something to say.
Either way, but
I'd be upset if all the
something we
truth.
can add to
I
that
don't
council.
know.
Say, do you wanna look at it
Oh,
piece to piece or?
Huh?
we need it.
Yeah, well, that's-
Is it the full
Oh, the
package
music
makes
is,
sense to me?
I
The
do
one I
too.
did is,
Because
Oh,
one might not make sense without the other.
goes to sign the praise I did for Free Speech Forum, but I did a canine. Put all the canines together to remember the canines that serve country.
Okay, any other comments?
No.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna follow up with Whitney?
Yeah,
Get some
I'll,
feedback?
I'll actually call her tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dollars budgeted park trail.
Yeah, this is kind of information for the EDA that I've been in contact with the DNR and waiting for them to get back to me about, one of the possibilities with park trails is to get them, one of the possibilities is maybe get over to the Douglas Trail or get up to Pine Island. I know the EDA director in Pine Island and to work with them to kind of connect those trails together. It was one of the work requests from Rebecca when I left was
Mhm.
work on the trail. And so
So the ROCOG, ROCOG, they've got a website where a map showing comments and questions about all about Olmsted County and suggestions and complaints, things that people have concern about, whether it's traveling too fast or the sun being over on Riverwood Drive or Riverwood Hills Drive coming up to River Bend, Port, whatever that is, So I noticed that there were several of those comments on there, reducing the speed, and we're looking at that with our 25-mile-an-hour speed reduction program project. So I took the liberty of just putting a comment on 100th Street going west as a potential for a bike lane along 100th Street to Douglas Trail. And then made a note about the safe routes, school safe routes project being part of that, or could be part of that. And I also put a note on this map from the overpass on the west side on Lake Shady, the frontage road, putting another comment there about safe school safe routes going up to County Road 31, which is the road that goes across going past the Pine Island School as being two projects. So it kind of ties in with what we talked about with working with the Pine Island and just what Kurt just mentioned. So it's out there for them to look at and evaluate. So we'll see if it gets any traction.
Add to that?
Pardon me?
Well, could I just add to because I bike all the time,
what's your name, sir?
Steve McNamara,
Steve Mack.
and it's like 1.3 miles up to the trail for that goes to the Douglas Trail by the school from Orinoco.
Yeah, it's,
So it's not that far. I just wanted to throw that in there. If we're
Yeah, it
looking
is.
at funding, we're not talking 5 miles or 6
in
miles.
my note, I mentioned the cost of just driving it.
1.3 miles from the city limits. And that's just going straight up.
Yeah, right up to that
Yeah,
roundabout.
and you can, it's a great path going
Yeah.
Douglas Trail from there. And
Yeah.
then put it behind the school and put the bridge in.
So in my notes, it's just a 6-foot shoulder on each side, but I mentioned the idea of striping the bike lane for it rather than making it.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
so-
great.
Whereas
Yeah.
100th Street it needs a additional bike lane on the side, some construction.
So the best way you access that is on that frontage road on the west
Yeah, I
side?
take both frontage roads,
Okay,
on either side of 52.
yeah,
They both have nice wide sides, like 6 feet, like Ryan said, to go up there. But having striping would be great.
Yeah.
Make sure people are aware that, there's all kinds of people bike there to get up there. So-
And the Douglas Trail is 3 miles from Casey's Corner to Douglas Trail is 3 miles.
Yeah,
So it's a bit further.
it's not more dangerous. I never bike there.
No, it's not.
yeah.
Tried.
That's what I
Tried.
wanted.
Okay.
100th, but you would cross, if you were on the east side, you cross then at the bridge across from the Orinoco auctions. If you're on the
Yeah,
east side, that'd be the
yeah.
safest way to,
like the safest way to go. Either
Yeah.
side to go through, yeah.
That would be
So
excellent.
anyway, that's, I'm glad to hear your work on it
Yeah.
too, so it's good.
We'll keep her going.
All right, any other comments about Park Trail? Next on new business, there's an agenda there on the chair, Steve, for your awareness.
Yeah, I got it, thanks.
City of Orinoco Comprehensive Plan.
Yeah, so in your packet, you go back and there'll be a piece of paper with CETA in the upper right-hand corner. CETA, the Community Economic Development Associates, has the ability to create a comprehensive plan if cities choose to. So just to kind of read this, one of my colleagues, Annie Nichols, is the manager, and I discussed with her after speaking with Jason, options for updating the city's comprehensive plan. As you know, being residents of Orinoco, it's growing. The possibility of future growth is going to happen, and what a comprehensive plan would be kind of it would give you an idea of how it should go. So there's an example when you're interested. I didn't print it off because it's very large, which is from Pine Island. They did a comprehensive plan a couple years ago. The plan would identify future growth opportunities, establish a clear long-term vision for Orinoco. The plan may help provide clarity and consistency for future development decisions. If desired, CETA can prepare a complete proposal for Orinoco EDA to review. Like I said, there's a link here, and the packet that I sent you has this link on it, so you can see what they did for Pine Island. The CETA pamphlet that I put in here was done by Annie, and she's very thorough, and what the plan would give you, if you chose, would be such things as demographics, which is the population and future population growth, birth rates, total fertility rate, all that jazz. Land use, what you're gonna use certain land for, housing projections, what economic development will look like, transportation, public utilities, parks and rec, natural resources. I mean, it'll lay out what Orinoco looks like now and what it may or could look like in the future. Now you can see what this is, what I'm proposing to you or bringing to the EDA is Annie would have a colleague come to our next meeting to kind of fill us in on what it would look like. And if that's something EDA would be willing to or want to do, I would plan to have her at the next meeting. Annie would virtually join the meeting, and her and her colleague would lay out what it is they do. If it's something that EDA is not interested in, then obviously we won't have them come to the next meeting. So to give you an idea, it would take about, if it was something that the city would like to do, I think the last one was done in 2006.
2006, right?
And it's recommended about every 10 years should be done to cover goals for the next coming 20 years. It's to get it done, it's 8 to 9 months to complete. The cost will be anywhere from $30,000 to $35,000. There is some available funding through Compier's feasibility of study grant for about $5,000, so we can take $5,000 off of that final price tag. If this is something that EDA would like, I will schedule to have the planning board come to our next meeting. So that's kind of up to you guys.
Well, your conversation with Jason, well, first of all, I appreciate knowing what CETA can offer and, the cost range and everything and everything, really good stuff. The only concern I would have is the next steps. It says they could author an RFP with guidance for other firms. So that may be something that the council may want to see is just an RFP written to other firms that would be interested in doing a comprehensive plan. There's no question it needs to be done. At the same time, our future land use map needs to be updated too. And Stantec did that back in 2020 or 2021, I guess. So, I mean, the comprehensive plan can be maybe a standalone, or it could be combined with a update on our future land use map too.
Yeah.
Is the comprehensive plan of a city always kind of up to the economic development committee? Is that kind of typical?
Many times it is. Mhm.
And is it pretty typical that most cities engage in an outside party to do that kind of planning? Is that pretty standard unless
Yeah.
you're a bigger city that has that kind of personnel?
If you're in a major city, like Rochester would have their own
Yeah,
people who
department.
do this, where smaller communities would not. That's where CETA comes in, yeah.
Otherwise, to get a plan without this, we'd have to commit somebody in the city to do it for us or.
Well, you could have, there are other organizations other than CETA.
Oh,
that do it.
gotcha.
Yeah, so we could request for a proposal, that's what RFP is, to see if there was, somebody else would like to do it.
Gotcha.
So a question on your comprehensive plan, my question is, and they're watching us a lot of things as cities grow, everything else. You have one water tower up there on the hill. And so in the comprehensive plan, how much will that water tower serve? In other words, community wise, one tower, as you start to grow, where's the next tower, the height, or you gotta put it up in the air to do that?
That's a good question, and Water and Sewer has looked at that. And what Water and Sewer is proposing in the budget for 2026 is a comprehensive water study to answer those kinds of questions of our capacity for there. Do we need a second well? Where would it be at? And that's like a $12,000 item for the council to decide if we want to budget money to do that study. So we're also looking at a comprehensive water study, and we're also looking at a comprehensive stormwater utility service too. Now granted, we don't have that many curbs. We got a few stormwater downtown here with curbs, but it also covers driveways, culverts, ditches that need to be cleaned out. So there's a lot of things that the stormwater affects, so that's another, it's like a $5,000 or $6,000 budget proposal. So, but yeah, the water study is an important thing to look at going forward.
The other thing, the question I ask is because you have behind Peoples, they have a server center, if I'm understanding that correct, over there in that building. And with the new AI and everything else coming up, I'm hearing it takes thousands of gallons of water to keep these things cool. And it's not like a radiator, they're just running the water and dumping it down the drain, which made it a total waste of water. And they wouldn't be running that through some type of a chiller to cool the water. So that's just my thing, is that people come in is that you could run, so they're, in a lot of these cities, they're putting up these server centers in kind of a dry areas that don't have a lot of water, and they're running it down that way. So as Orinoco grows, very well, someone could say, a little town like Orinoco, like over here, we could put a service center or a server center out there, or I don't know how much big industry would come here because it's of the area, but the water thing to me is the one tower in which you got going, whether your lines coming off that could serve everybody the pressure. And then again, the fire department needs. Okay,
the water pressure is good to 100th Street.
Okay.
It's when you go across the street and you start going like a quarter of a mile to the south, that's where the water, that's why we envisioned our phase 1C. Phase 1C is, it goes a quarter of a mile south of the 100th Street.
Okay.
And that's what our 20-year Stewart plant design was designed for. If we go any further than that, that'll be more, maybe another trunk line under the highway and the water tower.
Okay.
So there's one thing about the 2006, if you had a chance to read it, it's amazing because it's all predicated having a sewer system. And everything in there in the 2006 was density and to serve the payment of the system. But it's all about growth is going to happen. It was just, they were thinking about it back then. And it's very interesting to read that comprehensive plan, but it does need updating, there's no question.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I guess follow up on what Kathy was mentioning about EDA, if this is, so this would be EDA's budget money then? Or that's city's budget money?
Well, it's a comprehensive plan for the entire city, so that's something that have to be discussed at the city council level.
So right now, there's nothing in the budget. I don't think there's anything in the budget being proposed for this. Um, I can double check with Jason, but I don't think we talked about any comprehensive plan in 2026.
That wasn't part of the, I don't believe that was part of our.
I don't think it's part of our EDA
Yes.
either.
It could be a possibility for 2027.
Mhm.
You know, would this be too early to have? Kind of come in and just give you an idea of what the
Yeah,
comprehensive
no, I
plan.
appreciate knowing exactly what we're looking at.
Cause I know she's got other communities she's working on. So that could be a possibility where, like I said, we bring them in. And she kind of gives you an idea what a comprehensive plan is, and then when 2027 budget rolls around.
Everybody's a little more aware that we're behind and we want to catch up.
So the growth of, you know, the projected growth of Warren.
Right.
Something to look into.
Well, I guess knowing we don't have the funding for 2026, do we still would like to have Andy come in and talk to us? I don't want it to be a waste of her
Yeah,
time.
no, I'd be inclined to say no. I guess part of me feels like, you know, when Rebecca was here, we did that town hall meeting over here and we did a lot of
Community input.
community input. And I think at that time we did learn a fair amount about our demographics, what people in our community wanted for land use housing. We had all those things broken down. And I don't know how much different this would be, or if, you know, my default thought is our communities, was it 1,500 people strong now, is gathering all that information. We're gonna have enough use of it to make it worthwhile. You know, I don't know. It's hard to say if, you know, are we projecting that we'll have 2,000 people in 10 years or 15 years, and whether or not it's necessary to gather this data. I mean, the data sounds great, but if you're not gonna use it, then it's a lot of money to spend to find things out that we're not applying potentially.
Yeah, like the 27, 28 time frame, late 27, 28 time frame would make more sense if we've got 300 more homes built by that time. But
Yeah, other developments kicking off and
right,
things.
I mean, if we're I think the city's trending towards getting these comprehensive plans in order. The good point is we didn't add it to this year's budget. But on top of the ones that Ryland mentioned, we're doing a streets and roads comprehensive plan, so like city's trending that way, so. But I don't know that this is an immediate need right now.
Yeah, I think our next year is, for what I see happening is we have our condo project up by Two Sisters coming on board, starting. That's about the only thing we know for sure, and then whatever happens over people's energy co-op. That will strip of land what the drain field is. So I think it's still small numbers, but I do think it
Yep.
may lend itself for waiting a year before we spend the money and plan for it a bit more.
Okay, well, I can tell.
So we appreciate her offer, but I think we'll wait middle of next year or something like that. Well, yeah, July, August, before we start doing our budget planning.
Okay.
Before the September preliminary budget, at least we can get the dollar figures in our preliminary budget. We can go there to, if it stays, if it sticks. For the 2027, okay.
Okay.
But I just, you know, the link is in his email, so check that Pine Island.
there's
plan out.
Actually, two of them. There's one on the CETA sheet. And there's one on the other two. It is very thorough. There's a lot of stuff. So take a look at it.
Carl Wilson.
So CETA did Pine Islands is what you're saying? Okay.
All right.
I'll share that with her. All right, thank you.
Next item was this Carl Rogers.
All right, the application for economic development was in your packet. You answered questions very well. And he's here for tonight because one of the bylaws is that EDA shall execute an interview process before the final selection is approved at city council. So we as an EDA will recommend, if Carl fits fine, to the city council for approval. So we're looking for a recommendation today. We have 3 questions for you, Carl. I'll ask the first one here. What would you consider your strengths for becoming an EDA member?
Well, yeah, thanks for having me, and my application is in the packet as well, and I think some things that come to mind for me, I'm 44 years old now, and since graduating college in 2005, studied biomedical sciences with a minor in chemistry, and ever since then, have been self-employed, essentially, so the skills that come along with that are, I believe, doing whatever needs to be done, get that done to keep things moving forward. And also, what I appreciate about that environment is kind of a no limit type of a potential, where you can make things as big or as small as you really want them to be. Also, really embracing some outside the box thinking and curiosity around if things really need to always be the same way they've always been. And I think within the capacity here of our growing town of Orinoco, there could be some really fun and unique opportunities to discuss that. I do like trying to implement positive change, and yeah, enjoy working with a diverse group of people through that. I've learned a lot through selling real estate for the past 15 years and working with a very diverse group of people, handling a large, most likely their largest asset of their life. And as Adam knows how that goes, there can be some conflict management involved with that. And I think even with an interesting project we just had recently up here on our 2nd Avenue Southwest shared driveway, there was some interesting opportunities for some cooling of emotions and the conflict management of when money gets involved with a shared project. So it was good.
Good.
Keep the escalation to a minimum.
Yeah, I was, yep, I try to be the peacemaker and the peacekeeper.
Blacktop's nice, though.
And it's lovely. It's lovely, and it's nice and quiet walking down the garbage at early in the morning on a nice smooth blacktop. So that's good.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring our golf carts down there for Gold Rush. Drift around the corners now instead of being rock, or you're talking about your driveway then?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Great, that's nice to have that done. All right, so second question. It's a couple things and I'll wrap up the one. So how would you rate your organizational skills for EDA project work? And additionally, any experiences that would help the EDA website work, graphic design experience for brochures or marketing materials, financial, et cetera. So.
Yeah, I think, again, kind of real estate, but also with a more heavy focus on a volunteer role within real estate. In the past 5 years, I've served as a volunteer on the local association board of directors. And I'm currently finishing 2025 year as the local association president. So with that, I don't know the scope of EDA project work, but have been involved with some multi-million-dollar budgets with that. And I love kind of taking the organizational seat and helping people gather and bring together information to come up with a plan. Really using our strategic plan within the CMAR Association to question what is it that we're actually doing to fulfill these objectives. Experiences I have dabbled a little bit in very basic website development over the years. I'm a big fan of the Google Suite. So many times when projects are coming together, I'll love to dive in and make spreadsheets out of it and bring all the data together to present it clearly with graphs and images that can really speak volumes as to how sometimes pages of data can, have your eyes glaze over, whereas it could be presented much more easily within a graph or a chart or things like that, so. Yeah, and then being in the real estate realm as well, marketing and social media, happy to get involved and help in any way I can with that. And most recently, I've had a lot of fun brainstorming with artificial intelligence, AI, the various platforms with ChatGPT and Grok, and using that to again, kind of think outside the box on how we can be using technology to move things forward and embrace that wave that's the inevitable wave of technology that's coming. So, yeah.
Yeah, good. All right. Kurt, you take it?
Oh, sure, sorry. And your final question here, Carl, please share with us what you think that an EDA can do for the city and its residents.
Yeah, I think what comes to mind for me with this is making economic growth and new business kind of planting a really memorable and favorable experience so that it's easy and enjoyable to set roots down here in Orinoco. I think the two sisters and Dollar General likely could learn a lot from those. I don't know all the inner workings and the behind the scenes details of how that all went. But to continue on with bringing small businesses like that to benefit our little community here. And even though it's not a massive trip into Rochester, we love just popping down a few minutes to Dollar General, and that's been a huge, I think, positive impact for our town here. So for small businesses and then for residents to just embrace community development and yeah. Again, just making it a safe and enjoyable place to be.
Does anybody else have any questions? Carl? Those are our three questions we're going to touch base on.
Yeah, but the question, as I looked at your thing, it said the least favorable thing of Orinoco. Can you kind of explain that? I guess I would like to, what the issue is there.
Least favorable thing?
Yep.
You wrote on there, brief experience in brainstorming, adding a bathroom to an outbuilding, it seems to be overpaying them to create an opportunity. Like you tried to do some work and you bumped into some roadblocks?
It seemed more work than, like it was a little bit of a roadblock to getting that done. It seemed difficult to.
From who? I guess you said from.
I'm not sure if she's around. Is she still?
No, it's the former city administrator.
Yeah. Jan?
No,
No.
that's Jen.
No.
No, yeah,
Caravan.
No.
Sunny.
Sunny.
Sunny, yeah.
Sunny.
Yeah, wasn't, yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. I just curious is that.
Yeah, I think
that-
we had the same trouble with our garage about the same time, you know. It was
Yeah.
kind of nobody knew what.
Seemed to be, yeah, really, and I know it's an older, lot we have back there and really expensive project to hook up some things. Even though, we just wanted it to be very basic. It seemed like it was a lot more difficult than we wanted
So
to
you
just.
had to follow codes.
Right,
They wanted you to follow codes.
yep. It was just a question on adding a bathroom in there and,
Right. And then when they showed you when you follow the codes, what it all entertains,
yep,
you see the dollars involved in it, and you go, But that's why they have codes.
yep.
To answer my question, I just was, what it was, is that they didn't give you a bad time, they just said, here's the rules and regulations that you got, if you want to do this, these are the steps you have to take, and when you see that list. And the dollar amount at the bottom of it, it had nothing to do, EDA or whatever, my point is that is why you have policies and procedures.
Yeah, that's good. No, it was timely. We thought it would be a timely event to do something with that, with the sewer project that was happening at the same time. And so I was unaware at what it would entail and what it would take. So,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, well, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, well, that concludes our interview, but I would make a motion that we recommend Carl Rogers filling a position, open position in our EDA board. So
A second.
Third.
any other comments were?
I do appreciate anybody coming in who wants to make the process easier and more straightforward, more transparent. That's yeah, personal experience aside, I the same situation, like not exactly, but it just seemed harder than it should have been and looking into things. And so anybody that has the goal of making it easier and more straightforward, welcome aboard.
I hear that about Rochester, Olmsted County all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
How about all the red tape and all you gotta go through to get something done, and
Mhm.
how about we just streamline it?
Sure.
Well, Carl, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thanks, Carl. Sure.
Yeah.
Correct.
With vote, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, we'll just make that an action item for the EDA to recommend approval, so.
Yep. I'll be in contact with you, Carl. Let you know the.
It's up now to the city council.
Sounds good.
No, no, yeah, just a formality at this point. But, just a couple of things, just for your
Thank you,
awareness, Carl.
Carl, for your volunteering. That's.
Sure.
I've known Carl since I've lived here and wow, he's always been an impressive person to talk to. He's
Yeah.
always well informed and informative and friendly.
Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah.
So a couple of things we talked about was, the community input. You were aware that about a year and a half ago, we had a community meeting at the fire department.
Yep, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll post his notes up on the wall.
Yeah, that's right.
Great, okay.
Categorizing of things. and
So if you haven't
SWOT.
seen that report, so I'll email that to you. There's a
Okay.
report that Rebecca put together, all the answers, so. All right. Possible River Park development. There's some stuff in our.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So you can see here, we're on 6D. We're on C, excuse me. I was a part of the meeting on October 7th. The meeting members were Craig Johnson of Majestic Homes, Todd Whiting of Dwell Realty, Joe Palin, your city engineer, Administrator Jason Baker, and myself. There was an inquiry into the River Park, the big lot out there, and I put a map as well that you can see within your packet of where we're talking about. Majestic Homes was inquiring on the possibility of possibly putting 8 future residential lots in there. Land is zoned as residential. Future site development was discussed with city engineer, stormwater management, parkland dedication, water and sewer services were discussed. And the sizes of future lots were discussed as well. And there was no offer made or anything. It was just talking about it. Because this used to be, is it the septic field?
Mm-hmm.
Drainage field. And the Majestic Homes builder and the realtor are very well aware of that. And it was just kind of an informational meeting from the city engineer to see if houses can be built there. And from his point of view, they could. And so it's just kind of keeping the EDA in the loop is what we were speaking about in the meeting.
When they say 8 lots, is that compared to the size lots that everybody else has? Isn't everybody on an acre out there?
Yeah, roughly the same size.
Yeah, I think
It's
most
not
lots,
bigger, in some cases.
0.75 to 1.5 acres, right? I think mine's one of the smallest at 0.75. And if you take the number of lots and you start cutting them up into 1 acre chunks, 8 seems sensible.
I think that's a total of 10 acres there for that drain field, because it goes behind 2 of those houses there on Fifth Street as well.
So far as you know, there's been no follow-up meetings.
No.
Yeah, I'm not aware
like I
of
said, there's
any.
been no offers made or anything like that. And if there was, it would go to the city council for the future development within the city, you know, and keep your eye on it, because it will be a large lot like that within the city is
Yeah, I've got a number of thoughts on that and kind of wanted to talk about anyway, feeling like, I live in the neighborhood, so of course, like a lot of my neighbors, I would love to see another pickleball court go up there or something more fun, right? The organic gardens or hockey rink or something, but that involves cost. It seems like with the transition into the city sewer and water, that it made a ton of sense to cut that lot up into buildable lots that will have, matching covenants, or our current covenants are old covenants rather than bringing in a bunch of small split level homes on quarter acres, something like that. It seems to me almost like a foregone conclusion that the city should sell the land and develop it sooner than later. Nobody wants that in their backyard for a while, but it makes a lot of sense to maintain, the continuity in the neighborhood, to have similar siding products, similar style homes, and do it and get it over with. It'll be pain in the butt for 3 or 5 years, but I think it's a good idea to develop it and to develop it sooner. I've expressed that in the past at a city
Right.
council meeting or two. So I like the idea for sure. I think one of the city council members said that he'd like to sell it to a developer and just be done with it, and this is what an example of that would be. Majestic Homes, got a lot of experience, and Carl does too, working with them, and they built Brent Walker's house, the blue one, the last house before the drain field. So he has familiarity with our neighborhood. He's built before, he knows how to build these kinds of homes. So as far as an option of selling it to a developer to then let them cut it up and build, I think Craig Johnson and Majestic Homes would be a great person to sell it to. Like one of the first names I could think of in my line of work that I'd like to see come do work there, because he's reputable, he's honest, he's gonna do a good job, and he's gonna keep his guys together, keep things cleaned up. And Todd Whiting's an excellent real estate agent also, so he would represent, the questions I have, or the main thing I think would be, does it make more sense to sell it to a developer, and without knowing what they would offer, we don't have anything yet. But if we knew what they're offering, then it seems like the next step might be kind of a cost benefit analysis of, does the city develop it themselves and sell the individual lots? Which I've advocated for in the past, because I think that's how you put the most money in your pocket, right? If you're the home seller, you're the seller, or the property seller, you're gonna get the most money by doing it yourself and selling it, I think, exposed through the MLS market. Sell the lots as 1 acre lots to anybody and everybody that wants to come pay the most for them. I'm sure Craig's thought is to pay $300,000 or $400,000 or something of the like, to then have him cut it up, sell it. And there's expenses associated with cutting up the land, but I think with our attorney that we have on staff, we've got real estate agents in the EDA, I don't think it would be all that complicated to do it ourselves as an option. So I think when the time comes, if the time comes, it would be sensible to dig in a little bit and get a feel for, what are the lots worth if we do it ourselves? What's the potential profit in a reasonable, conservative manner versus, dumping it on the developer and letting them do it.
Right.
So I think those are kind of like the two main questions. And then from there, would Craig Johnson be an exclusive builder? Is he gonna cut up to 8 lots, 9 lots and put them for sale and build a few houses? Or is he gonna be an exclusive builder, meaning only he can build on them? And so if you come to buy that lot, you have to build with him. And that's something that developers do sometimes when they start up a new neighborhood. And that's nice for the builder because they're gonna collect the income from the build as well. But is it best for the quick development of, the 8 acres? Yes or no? And then going further down the thought process is timeframe. If you sell it to them, I would strongly recommend, I think everybody's already in the same mindset of having them follow the current covenants that we have in the neighborhood to keep that continuity again. And do you say, can we require them to have it done in 5 years or 7 years versus, letting it sit for 10 or 15 years and a couple, it'd be nice to get all the trucks and the development and the dirt and in and out and done within a reasonable manner. So that's my 2 cents is I think that's kind of what it'll boil down to, is not, are we gonna develop it, but when, and is it the city doing it, or do we sell it to somebody else to do it? And Craig would be a perfect candidate for doing that. He's got experience doing that on a number of different neighborhoods of town. He's been doing it for a long time.
That's, I guess the answer to all your questions is yes.
Yeah, good.
But I think, I'm not, this is kind of new to us because the city itself has never done any type of development or selling lots, whatever the case may be, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if the process will come back to EDA for making recommendations, or how do you envision
Well, so
what goes to council, or we make recommendations to council, or?
we can definitely make resolution. The way I look at it, like in Zumbrota, we're trying to sell lots. And from the city, it's different than being from a realtor's point of view. Not saying it's a bad idea, but
Right.
it feels as if you sell the whole chunk of land to a developer, it would go a little bit more, a little smoother in the situation.
It'd like to be easier, more streamlined.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's why, you may not need to spend a lot of time of city councils or anybody else's until Craig gives you a number.
Right.
Because if he's thinking $200,000 or $300,000, I guess, I printed off some past sales from Orinoco. I think that the lots, they're flat, kind of boring, not walk out, but very easy to chop up, based off of the way they look now. So, similar lots are selling for $120,000. If you're conservative at $100,000 per lot, maybe it's worth $800,000, but nobody's gonna give you $800,000, and I wouldn't think that asking $800,000 would be reasonable, because there is cost associated with breaking it up, and then now once you've broken it up, generally speaking, you pay higher taxes on it. Maybe we don't have to charge ourselves taxes, I don't know how that works, but you tend to pay higher taxes for while you're folding it now. So I'm just thinking, easy or great, but again, the cost benefit analysis, is it $300,000 he wants to offer, or $500,000? And then where do we identify the worthwhileness of cutting up? And I do think if we did develop it ourselves, it would be, going through that process with the attorney, but from there, I'd recommend absolutely hiring a real estate agent to list the properties for sale. And now you've got that professional helping you from the beginning to the end, with the development. Pay them the traditional commissions. It's still gonna be a lot better, because what you're paying for a lot of time with the realtor fee is exposure to all the buyers. Where you sell it to the developer, he's setting the prices, it's quick. We just might be leaving a lot of meat on the bone if we just default sell it to the developer.
Mhm.
I have a question, and guys, probably one of you two might have a good answer for this, but what's the feasibility to partner with a developer on something like this? To where they would be creating flats, we would be selling the lots, but they would have exclusive building rights. I mean, is that something that, so they would be creating like the plat map, and they would be responsible for the remediation, but then we would be giving them exclusive building rights to those areas, but also maintaining and selling the lots?
Sure.
I mean,
My thought on the surface when you ask that question is that it's not big enough to be worthwhile. Once they choose to partner with us, it means that you're cutting out some of the middleman, you're cutting out some of the profitability of doing the development. Having a survey done for $600-700, $800, and you draw a couple lines on there and identify it, it's pretty much dividing itself, the lot, if you look at it and you think about, the rectangles that go this way and a couple this way. So I don't think it would be necessarily beneficial. What are you paying them for at that point? Because developing the map is not a hard thing. That's
I guess I'm asking it, is it worthwhile for them profit wise to have exclusive rights to those 8 lots to build the homes? Is there enough profit in the building of the home? Sure. That they can forego the profit of selling the lot, or potentially
I see what you're
cutting
saying.
the lot cost down to get that home builder in, right? The buyer who builds
Yeah.
in.
That is a good
And
question.
the remediation, I feel like, is gonna be of those lots, because there will need to be remediation done.
When you say about pulling out oil or pulling out a lot of the earth because it's full
Right.
of poop and bringing in black dirt to fill it in.
Well, it's not a solids field. The solids were in the tanks. Those are gone, but everybody. It's like,
So I
says,
thought of an
okay.
organic farm doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, it was a.
Liquids.
It was a liquids drain
Gotcha,
field,
gotcha.
okay, so, but that stuff has to come out still, there's still black pipe down there, there's still probably drain rock material that's in there, all that stuff still has to come out. So the cost of doing that, but is that even worthwhile to approach somebody who wants to
I think
take exclusive building rights?
right. I think having having Majestic Homes come in and just ask those questions to him, he'll be better than I would be, or even Carl. He's done that many times, developed it, and would be real. He's just an open guy. He'll tell us the truth. Does it make any sense for you to pair with us? Having that exclusivity, like you said, as the carrot to dangle, that's pretty valuable, because I think, if you're gonna build 8 houses, you're gonna have some other potential income there, but there's definitely.
Joe Payton has kind of shared with us too, what he would do, what he would do for suggesting, like basements, removing the top 4 feet or something like that. Where you're digging, you do, Also could do limited or soil testing, just to make sure everything is okay. There are some pipes that have to come out.
I would assume that soil testing would be a standard part of the process and then,
Yeah,
and then
it's-
as far as what you're
We
saying.
make sure it's done right, so.
Yeah.
It's not it can be developed, let's just.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you need to, scrape out the dirt from all 8 lots before you sell the lots, or can you just split the 8 lots and say you're each responsible for scraping out and bringing in your dirt? It's part of the cost for redevelopment now. That's all,
I would say the cost would be beneficial to do it at once,
Yeah,
right? But
it seems that way for sure. Yeah, we'd have to ask a lot more questions about the dollars and cents. And Craig would openly answer those questions for us in addition to tell us hopefully a better idea of what he would be willing to pay if we just sold it to him.
This piece of property that you talk about, the 8 acres or whatever it happens to be. Dividing up and everything else you talk about, when you talk about the city being involved, it makes sense to me. To have a developer come in and you put townhouses up there, number one, your roads are very limited. If you look at the townhouses, things that people drive in, so the roadway, the structure to go into that is less roadway. It's one deed. It's, in other words, as they start to split up these townhouses, it's an association. You have more control of the association, what they build, how they build it, as you're talking about, to bring up to the standards that still kind of blends with your neighborhood. It is a green space, and most likely that you'll see a lot of townhouses that are built on slab on grade and whatever they do that way. There's more green space around the whole place, which gives, it's not a house and a lot, this guy wants this tree or whatever, the association puts the stuff in, has more control. One person comes in, buys the deed for it, clears the land off of it. There isn't dividing and all the surveying, dividing everything up, and then now the roads go here and I gotta put the sewer here. The sewer comes in one way and I don't know how they do it in Rochester or why they did it that way, but there's an awful lot of them. They put the blue sign up and they're private. And so the snow plowing falls on the association to plow all their roadways. The sewer comes in, the water comes in, the city does that,
Carl
but
knows that. That's what they do on his line.
what I'm just saying is you'll see those blue signs, when you see the blue sign, the city street is a private situation where the people do their own snow removal, and then the city isn't on the cuff to say, now how am I gonna get in there to plow or do whatever, the association, but I've always thought the pieces of property, even that over across where they have it, you have more control. One developer put it in 4 or 5, 8 townhouses, you got all that green space around it, and the plantings are controlled by the association and everything else, and everything, in other words, it's gotta be maintained.
Yeah.
Into a nice thing. And when you drive around Rochester, you go to Stonehenge, you go to these different places, been up for 15, 20 years, they look as good today as when they put them up. And that's control of what you got versus if he comes in, as you say, one person comes in and he does 8 lots, you got a mess all the time, the streets, and nothing's ever finished until the last blacktop goes on to the last street's done. If a person comes in and says, we'll develop a townhouse community here. The resale value is because a lot of people buying the townhouses are usually elderly coming in. And they're later in life, like Ryle and myself and F70. One of my point being is that maybe you got another 15 years if you're lucky. And you're moving and you're turning, well, it's life.
Ticking. We've got to get that
I'm
done.
just saying is that it is what it is, but
Right,
you
right.
move into it and they moves out. And you have value there and the tax base comes up, your sewer, you get your water, you get everything else, the one line comes in, feeds that whole operation versus I need to dig 8 different lots, 8 different things going in.
Isn't it zoned though for just individual homes out there?
yeah, it's our lots.
R1.
R1's okay.
Maybe
Well,
it's a
just-
challenge to get R2
So there
zone.
again, you can always go to the council and say, you know what, we like a variance on this or to do what we're doing to appease the neighborhood. I'm just telling you, that is how you have control of what
You
when I
state
built
your
my
name.
house, I want control that I want where I bought in the neighborhood I bought, that the next thing you know, a guy's putting a trailer house next door to you because someone says it's a manufactured home when it's not, it's a trailer house.
So I'm curious, Adam, you
I
mentioned,
just my thought process is to do, that you can always come to the city council, they can always grant variances, and that would be a plus up for you guys to have to do that.
And I would say it's a plus up as far as potentially increasing the density of housing in that neighborhood. I, as the River Park guy, put my River Park owner guy
Yeah.
hat on, I don't wanna see townhouses there because again, the continuity to me is valuable, driving in and out of the neighborhood and
You don't want the
everything
old
feeling the
folks there.
same. Well, you could have, if it was strictly about tax basis, townhouses, you could get more tax money out of that. I guess, for me, it feels more like a single family. You know, there's not a lot of lots there, another 8 houses into the huge thing. And increasing the density, but going townhouses, now you got a lot more traffic inside the neighborhood. I don't love the idea of going townhouse versus single family home, but again, it's just like everything else. A lot of questions to ask and answer and identify what's best for, in this case, the city, as a EDA hat, where I'm thinking what's best for the city.
Right, because you lock yourself into one builder, one thing.
But you know, when we were looking to buy in Orinoco, it was hard, and we looked in River Park, and we kept looking in River Park for 5 years. Very few things come open because it is a very popular place to live. It's a nice neighborhood, there's young people, there's old people, there's, you know, it's just a safe.
And those to me are.
These houses sell, I mean, if there would have been a house that would have been right for Steve and I, we would have bought there, but nothing came available
Right,
during that.
and what we're
time
speaking
period.
to now, to me, as the Realtor hat, is maximum proceeds, right? I think that is a very desirable neighborhood. I love it there. And so I don't think you have any trouble selling lots. If we chose to sell them, subdivide them ourselves and not pass that middleman off on the developer, potentially it wouldn't take that long to sell 8 lots because they're highly in demand right now. And part of why Majestic's coming to the city through Todd or however that originated, you know, Lennar just came to Rochester and bought up a lot of the remaining lots. And this is what Majestic has done for decades, is buy a subdivision that's failed, chop it up myself, develop it with affordable homes and go. So they would do a great job at it. But I think that we would be remiss to just, yes, it'll be easier to sell it to the developer. But if we can sell it to the developer for, you know, $600, if we can put a couple $100,000 in our pocket in the funds in order to by doing it ourselves, I think it's worth exploration because I think the lots will kind of sell themselves once they're chopped up and on the MLS.
Okay, well, good discussion. I
Sorry
think
for all the.
the one thing about, you know, we'd be putting, if it was to happen, we'd be fighting to put R2 surrounded by R1. And that spot zoning may be very difficult for council to accept the customer or residents' input into that, but
Yeah,
it's, you know, it's worthy of a discussion. Thanks for bringing it up, so. All right, November meeting date.
Yeah, I am not able to make the 25th. I was wondering if we could possibly move that to the 24th, which would be the Monday before. There's nothing going on in the city that day, I mean, in here, so this is open. If that's a possibility, it'd be great. My daughter has a game in Mankato State that day, so
So what are you suggesting, or?
I'm suggesting moving the meeting from the 25th to the 24th.
6:30.
6:30, if that's okay with everybody, that'd just be the Monday. Usually on Tuesdays, that would be on Monday.
It's
And if it doesn't, we
open
can,
for me, so,
Is it the Monday of Thanksgiving week?
yeah.
yeah.
I can't make 6:30, but y'all can do it without me, or I can make 5:30.
Yes, right? Can we do 5:30 on Monday, the 24th? Is that a possibility? All right, I'm putting it in.
Input too.
Yep. So the 24th at 5:30, and I will send out numerous reminders. Thank you, everybody. That was great.
And you'll let Rachel and.
Yeah, I'll let them know for sure, and I'll let Jason know. You know, on a personal note, when we enter basketball season, I have 2 girls that play college basketball. So they shouldn't, because they don't play high school anymore, so it's not Tuesdays, because the high school season will be, so it should be okay, but that could be a possibility in the next 3 months. As of December, January, February.
Fluid situation.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, but it's also crazy.
Where they play?
My youngest daughter plays at St. Cloud, and my oldest daughter is a Jayhawk at the University of Kansas.
Nice.
Kansas.
She plays for Division I?
Yeah, she played for Indiana the last 3 years and transferred to Kansas.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she played in 3 NCAA tournaments. Okay.
That's
She's
exciting.
been doing really well.
Good for you,
And my
Dad.
son was a Gopher last year.
Nice.
He was a walk-on on the Gophers, so.
They didn't get any of that from you,
I was gonna say
though.
that genetics, I'm guessing you wear a size 16 or 18 shoe there, but
14.
genetics helps the cause.
It's a fun part. Yeah, our winters have been
Busy.
busy, but they're fun. Yeah, it's fun, busy. So I appreciate everybody on that. Thank you.
So how's the networking going?
Networking, I've talked to Glenn's motor coach, this week, just kind of information from them. Camping World, speaking of business is going very well for all these owner of the Gas and Go, but the Gas and Go sign has been shut off recently.
And the gas has not been available.
Anybody know why? Because when I spoke to them earlier.
They
this
still have
month,
cheese
but-
curds.
Coffee. They got
my
coffee.
cheese curds here, okay?
I stopped in last Saturday morning, I needed a couple batteries for my trail camera for my deer hunting,
That's
and the guy was
an amazing
sleeping.
story there.
He was sleeping at the counter.
They do
I
that.
had to wake him up. I said, 8 o'clock in the morning, he's sleeping, and I woke him up. I said,
Just walked out.
just out of curiosity, I said, how many people have left here while you were sleeping here? And I said, see, I got no gas either, I said,
So that's why the sign's not on. You know what
I don't know
mean?
why they don't have
Sign-
gas.
I don't.
because it's a new owner.
Is that it?
I
It's
don't think
it's
they-
a new owner and they
I
gotta,
think they lost
sure they
their
gotta
license
come up with
to
the
sell
credits.
gas.
and
How do you do
The
that?
guy behind the counter told me the
They don't
whole
have
story I
an
need to do. I need to go to
licensed
Casey's.
operator.
Because you need to go to
It's
Casey's?
a special.
I need to go to Casey's. The guy sleeping behind the thing, no gas, no
Gotcha,
nothing.
gotcha.
He told me everything about how that business is being run.
Yeah,
Casey's.
gotcha, gotcha.
Are they?
Yeah, what's the
Okay.
plan?
The-
What's the plan?
I don't know.
Do we don't have any more information on that?
Was he awake when you were there?
Yeah, it was. I dropped my card off and just introduced myself.
But it's foreigners.
Language
That's
barrier.
careful verbiage.
Huh?
You gotta be careful of that verbiage, Jan.
Yeah,
Whatever, I
2026, bro.
no kidding. He needs
I
reminders.
think the way it is.
I know, that's
Are they
fine.
foreigners? Yes, they're foreigners. Am I telling the truth? Yep.
Sure, fair.
Okay.
I didn't say anything other than that.
And then the other three are the people who were in the meeting. that I spoke. But I met Joe Palin, so that was good.
Has anybody got any news on the green thing?
It's all been approved.
Pretty sure Casey's.
All the permits, the variances.
These are the things people in the community ask me when I tell them I'm out.
Yeah, no, it's, these have been approved.
And they're
proceed
still
with
working on
building.
it?
Yeah, he's still working on it.
Okay,
Tearing up some concrete.
yeah, I saw that.
They're probably 2026 someplace, but yeah.
He got his variances last council, so he can move ahead with a bunch of work now, so he's gonna be transitioning indoor work, so you may or may not see,
What's going
Stop.
on?
but
I think they projected to open up this fall or something, and that's what people are.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't think.
Shades of Green, which is the,
It's like
is that still what it's called, or
I'm sorry.
Shades of Green, is that still what it's called, or?
Used to be in Rochester.
No.
Yeah,
The retail store, the front
The
third of
front's Shades of Green, and then the back is going to be,
Greener's
Bistro.
Pub.
Greener's Pub and Bistro or something,
Oh, yeah.
and that's by the post office and in front of the church. He's doing construction now. He got variances to move forward.
People, I think. in the
Yeah.
bar.
wow.
But it's,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
well, it'd be nice. The parking lot will be on the south side.
I second.
Hi.
7:37.
You made a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
I second.
Tell you the thing.
Jan did?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's anxious.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Yes.
That's the only thing I'm understanding. I want